how my client went from being ignored to hearing from her specific person, being invited overseas to see her specific person, and hearing the beautiful words that she's always wanted to hear. I miss you, I think about you all the time, and I can't wait to see you. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you the story of my client and also exactly what it is that she did that turned this situation around from having 7 months of no contact and an up and down roller coaster journey to getting her to hearing him say these beautiful words and inviting her aboard to meet up. So that is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So sit back and relax, and this is the story. Okay, since my client and her specific person met in January 2020 on a specific website, she was under quite a lot of pressure from external forces to be able to meet the family and to get married due to their specific cultures. And it got to the point where everything was going so well, but my client was feeling so under pressure to get her specific person to come to the UK. This was when things started to go slightly downhill and where her insecurities and her fears kicked in. So from having an amazing magical time messaging, these insecurities and all these fears kicked in about how she thought about herself, whether she thought it was going to be possible, and all the pressures, these external forces she was experiencing from other people. And then the specific person completely pulled back. And not only did he pull back, he blocked her too. This then highlighted all of her trust issues. It literally all opened up, and she was absolutely devastated. She was doing exactly what she could do to remain positive. She started to put herself first. She started to put her life first. And eventually, probably about a month or so afterwards, she started even dating again and just literally enjoying herself, enjoying life. And then one day in the middle of summer, she received a couple of messages from her specific person. He told her that he really liked her, and the messaging again started to become more and more frequent. They didn't discuss the gap of not being in contact. They just focused on them being in contact right now. It was like they both let go of that old story. So for about 1.5 months, this was back in 2020. During the summer, she started thinking, especially after having all of these magical moments, these magical messages, being in contact, speaking to each other, she started to get those doubts kicking in again. And she started to think that he was going to ignore her again. And those thoughts became so dominant that again, yes, what happened was he pulled back and ignored her. And not only did he not ignore her, he ended up blocking her again. This cycle of contact and not being in contact continued for quite some time until September 2020, when they started speaking again, and she actually got the truth from him as to what the absence was. And he basically reflected her story back to her. Now, my client, so her specific person lives abroad and my client lives in the UK. And my client was extremely happy to move abroad if that was how the relationship was going to go. But her old story was that he would never come to the UK, therefore he was never going to meet up with her. And all of that, all the insecurities, all of these limiting beliefs, these blocks, the feelings of what if he starts to ignore me again, all came up. And again, getting blocked and ignored. So like I said, the fears, the insecurities from my client crept back in, and the cycle just kept repeating itself. And as you can imagine, she was absolutely devastated about being blocked again. And it remained this way for 7 months. This was literally when my client decided to reach out to me and to book a session with me, and that was in October 2021, towards the end of October. We discussed all of the limiting beliefs that she was holding on to, and all of those fears as well that related to those limiting beliefs that she was also holding on to. We discussed how she had him on a pedestal, and what we also discussed was creating some really empowering affirmations, and reminding herself that she was and is a master at manifesting, and that she always gets what she wants, and that everything is always working out for her. So morning, noon and night, anytime she felt those insecurities pop into her mind, she was going to focus on the version of herself that she wanted to become. So these are just some of the affirmations that we discussed. So she was saying to herself that she was chosen, special, cherished, prioritized, wanted, adored, beautiful, loved, unique, unforgettable, enough, valued, worthy of being in a loving relationship with the person that she chooses, loved and accepted just as she is, confident, radiating confidence, and that everything she desires comes to her easily and effortlessly, that she is the prize, and that the man she chooses is so lucky to have her. So they're just a few examples of some of the affirmations that she would repeat to herself on a daily basis, like I said, morning, noon and night, and then when any of those insecurities crept in. On top of this, she also agreed to put more focus into herself and creating a life that was fulfilling for her, one that she loved. We also talked about using any previous history that was negative and revising it. So not only was she doing her affirmations, not only was she creating a life that was fulfilling for her, she had completely revised the story and was only focusing on the outcome, on the story that was what she wanted. In our last session, which happened the other day, she told me all of these amazing things that had happened. And as I said, all of this, from no contact to be invited aboard, to hearing all these beautiful words that she'd been manifesting from her specific person, all came true. So this is what she said to me. She said that she's absolutely loving being her true self now. She's really enjoying life. She's continuing to work on her self-worth, which is getting stronger every day, telling herself that she is worthy beyond belief, that she is a priority and always prioritized, that she is enough in every single way, and that she is important. So she'd also added some more affirmations to her growing self-concept to keep her up on that pedestal. And then not only did she say that, she also said that she found out that her specific person had actually not been very well, that he'd picked up COVID, and she started focusing really negatively on that and was really, really worried. But instantly she took back control of her mindset, and she only focused again on the story of him as she wanted him to be, and that was being full of health and being well. And she also chose to be happy every day because, and she said, if he's well, why would I be miserable? So because he is well, so if he's not well, why I would be miserable. But because I'm manifesting him to be well, then I wouldn't be miserable. Therefore, I'm going to be happy. So she focused on the story of him being well, having got over COVID, and she also focused on herself being happy and positive because he was well. Now, having not spoken in such a long time, she decided to send a message, and it actually went through this time. Therefore, she had become unblocked. And not only that, but all of the work, all of her focusing on her worth and the story was working. She also mentioned that she didn't expect a response. She just, wanted to make sure that he was okay, but she didn't expect it. There was no obsession, there was no need, no desperation for it. And guess what? She got a response a day later. And so 7 months of no contact, they were now back in contact. And to make it even more incredible, her specific person said that he constantly feels their connection every single day. He can't stop thinking about her, that he misses her so much. He didn't want to worry her about having COVID, and it's taken him a long time to get over that. And he invited her to go to see him in his country where he lives, and she'll also get to meet his family too. So she's now fully focusing on that story, so none of these insecurities or fears come back in. She's just focused on what it is that she's wanting, meeting each other's families, getting on really well, and loving and accepting each other for who they are. So this is it. This is how my client went from no contact, and within 7 months, and just having a few sessions with me, being back in contact, hearing these beautiful words that she's been manifesting, and being invited aboard to go to see him and to meet his family. So how did she do this? 1, we took him off the pedestal and we put her on the pedestal. We took away the obsession and the need and the desperation by putting everything into her, all of her energies into her self-concept, and creating a life that she loved, a fulfilling life full of love and passion and fun and adventure. And the third thing that we did was we let go of that old story, and we were only focusing on what it was that she wanted to create her life to be, and to have that life that she loved with her specific person. And there you go. That is how you go from no contact to contact in a very short space of time. You stay focused on what it is that you want. You raise your self-concept. By letting go of the obsession and the need, you're creating a life that's fulfilling for you. Therefore, you're happier and more positive. And hey presto, just like magic, it all works out. So if you would like to find out more about how you can get contact back from your specific person, or somebody that you haven't been in contact with that you would like to be in contact with, then you can just click on the link below and you can contact me through the links, or you can email me at natalie@asthepenniesdrop.com. But I'm so proud of my client. It's such an incredible story, and she's promised that she's going to stay in touch to let me know the next stages of this amazing journey that she's been through. So that's it from me, guys. Take care, and I will be back soon. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon. Bye.